Hey guys, welcome to another review, and here's my review for the movie Spencer. Spencer stars Kristen Stewart, Timothy Squall, and Sally Hawkins, and this movie is directed by Pablo Larraín, the guy who did the Jackie movie with Natalie Portman back in 2016. Now, instead of tackling Jackie Kennedy, he's tackling Diana, Princess Diana of the royal family. This is a fictional and very overly dramatized story about the 3 days she spent with her husband and children during Christmas time with the family and stuff. And it's about her last days being married to Charles and all the anxiety and depression and horrible things that were going through her head during this time period. And that's basically it. This movie is not like a biopic about Diana. That would have been interesting. No, this movie is literally just takes place within like the 3 days of Christmas time with her family and her like losing her shit. That's the gist of this movie. This movie, Spencer, looked really cool, looked really interesting. I'm actually a Kristen Stewart fan. She seems to be a bit of a she seems a bit kooky in person, but as an actress, I actually don't mind her. I like movies like Clouds of Sis Maria, Personal Shopper. I even really enjoyed last year's The Happiest Season. I thought that was a really good movie. I think she can be very talented. Same with like Robert Pattinson. I think some of those Twilight actors are actually very good. And before I get into a lot of negativity with this movie, because I did not like this movie at all, I'm going to give it one huge praise, and that is Kristen Stewart's performance. It's kind of like Promising Young Woman last year. I was not a fan of that movie, but I fully admitted Carey Mulligan was fantastic in that movie, and she deserved that nomination, and probably even the win, actually. But yeah, Kristen Stewart is really good in this movie. Actually, I did not see Kristen Stewart. I saw like Diana. I thought she did a terrific job. And I think this is like one of her best performances. She is just sensational, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's gonna get the Oscar win." Yeah, I can see it. I can definitely see it. It's a stunning performance, and she has proven herself time and time that she's got talent. She's got the chops, and she fucking shows in this movie. She is excellent in this movie. Gives a phenomenal performance. That is the only positive thing I'm really gonna say about this movie. Is Kristen Stewart is incredible in this movie. Incredible. And she's almost enough for people to go watch this movie because she's that good. But this movie is insufferable. This movie is slow and not in a cool, creative, deep, profound way. It is slow for the sake of being artsy and pretentious. It is depressing. It gets so many facts wrong about Diana. I seen this movie with my mother, and she knows all about the royal family, and she was even like, "That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong." If you do your research, you know a lot of things that happen in this movie are wrong, but it's very fictionalized and very dramatized about the situation that happened with Diana and Charles. The movie is factually incorrect about a lot of stuff that went down. Diana was actually a very caring person, did a lot of good things, and as much as she was suffering with some mental disorders, she was still very level-headed. But the movie never shows you that. The movie portrays Diana as someone who is super insecure, is on the verge of like killing herself, and I think she was going through those things. But the way the movie does it doesn't give it justice, and it almost comes off borderline disrespectful. Things she says and does in this movie, I'm just like, what? What are they doing? They show no elegance or class to her character. They just show her as this person who's just this just depressing, this just miserable person. And as much as she did have a lot of bad times with Charles and bad times in the marriage and being part of the royal family, she did a lot of great things and she had a lot of happy moments and there was a lot of things that she accomplished. And the movie shows none of that. And the movie doesn't even talk about any of that. The movie just shows the dour and depressing side and how awful everything is, how awful it is to be in the royal family, how awful it is, and how no one gives a shit about her, and how her life will just be destroyed if she stays married, and it's just everything about everything is dour and depressing, and just, your life is ruined. It's I hated what they were doing with this story and with this tone and stuff. I'm like, what is happening here? I get, like, Diana had a lot of depression and she did have suicidal tendencies. There was a lot of issues she had, but this movie just, again, over dramatizes it, and it's almost kind of insulting to the memory of Diana. I wanted the movie to show the accomplishments of Diana. I wanted them to show her as more of a strong character because she was a very strong person. She was very flawed, 100%, but she did do a lot of good, and I wanted the movie to show the good she did, and the movie fails to do that. And the movie, like, the movie is super intentional with its slowness and its bleakness. Like, the first 20 minutes has, like, no dialogue. It's literally just showing Diana walking to a field, driving a car, vomiting, like, twice. Like, the movie, she, like, pukes 10 times in this movie. And the movie just constantly keeps showing you that. And it shows, like, Kristen Stewart breathing a lot to the camera and just staring dead face into the camera. Like, there's just so many moments like that, and it's not pleasant. And I know the point they're trying to do, but you can make that point in 10 seconds instead of 5 minutes. But again, Pablo Larraín is a director. He's trying to show you how artistic he is and how profound of a filmmaker he is. He's like, whoa, the movie is depressing and dour because that is the feeling Diana went through during these 3 days. And I'm like, how do you even know that? You can read biographies about that, but no one knows what Diana went through unless you're Diana. So, I don't know. Like, he was... Pablo Larraín, I thought his filmmaking style and his directing style was overly artsy and overly pretentious, and it was actually getting on my nerves. I just didn't like what he was doing with this, and the camera movements were obnoxious. The music was the most probably obnoxious thing in this whole fucking movie. The music overpowers the dialogue, and the music goes on. Especially the first 25 minutes are like the worst thing in this movie. The music just overpowers everything, and it's just the same beat and the same orchestra over and over and over again. And it's not like Eyes Wide Shut where it's like supposed to make you go a little loopy and stuff. No, the movie's just trying to put you in this mood, but really, instead of putting you in this like sad mood, it just puts you in an annoying, angry mood. And I don't know. I can tell this movie's probably going to get a Best Score nomination, and I really disagree. The score is just irritating to listen to. If I ever had to hear the score again, I'd fucking rip my ears out. It is just unbearably annoying. And even the shot compositions were obnoxious and annoying. And just like they could have shown some really amazing landscaping shots, and at times they did. But then they do so many wide angle lens and a lot of face shots, like right in Kristen Stewart's face, and it's ugly and it looks awful, and I just did not like it. I didn't like the tone and the feel of the story. I don't like the story in general of what they told about Diana. I think they were trying to make this beautiful homage and showing the tragedies she went through, but it comes off as pretentious and a little disrespectful. And it's so overly fictionalized and very historically inaccurate that I just couldn't stand the movie. I was annoyed. I was bored. I was getting kind of pissed off in some moments. It's very obnoxious. That's probably the best one word to explain this movie. It's a very obnoxious film, and I would not at all recommend this movie. I will still praise Kristen Stewart. Like, none of this is Kristen Stewart's fault. This is all Pablo Larraín. Like, he did Jackie, and he really didn't, like, jeopardize the Jackie Kennedy story. He made that movie pretty boring, too, but it was just a simple time of Jackie taking over presidencies when John F. Kennedy died for the brief moment, and that's really it. Like, it's a simple story, and as boring as it was, like, it was very hard to fuck up that story. But this one, is a dramatized version of an event that we don't all know what actually went down and stuff. So Paul Rain just adds his own stuff to it and just, I don't know. He tries to make it this like very art house film about depression, and it just doesn't work for me. And I found it more irritating than anything. Not a good biopic, not a good character study. Kristen Stewart is remarkable in the film, but the filmmaking, storytelling, the shots and the music are just annoying and obnoxious, and I could not stand a second of this film. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the movie Spencer a 4 out of 10. Did not like this movie, and I will not recommend it. So in the comment section, please tell me what are your thoughts and opinions on the movie Spencer. Are you in agreement on the critics and saying this movie is fantastic, or are you with me and think this movie is just irritating and not very good film and wished for a better movie about Princess Diana? Give me thoughts and opinions. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.